This fight right here between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev might be one of the most important fights right now in the UFC. So Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev are headlining this Saturday at UFC 313. Not only is the light heavyweight title on the line, there are a lot of other stuff, other significant events that could change depending on the outcome of this main event. So, as we all know, Magomed Ankalaev right now is the only guy Pereira needs to beat in the light heavyweight division before he's essentially cleared out all the elite guys. Once Pereira beats Magomed Ankalaev, if he beats Magomed Ankalaev, there really is nobody left. I mean, the only real thing you could argue is a Jan Blachowicz rematch if he beats Carlos Ulberg, because Jan Blachowicz arguably beat Alex Pereira when they first fought. That is like the only thing you could really argue, but realistically Pereira has beaten every elite guy in the light heavyweight division right now. And if Pereira wins and does what I think he's going to do, I think it might ruin this. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Look, we know this is the fight that needs to be made. It's the fight that's been talked about for quite a while now. It is the fight for Jon Jones. We know Jon Jones is scared of Tom Aspinall. The guy openly ducked him and just basically straight up refused to even speak about the guy at UFC 309 when he went in there to fight Stipe Miocic, in a fight that we didn't need, nobody wanted to see. But I don't know, Jon Jones has got unlimited dirt on Dana White or something, that the UFC just fall to their fucking knees anytime this guy asks for anything. But this right here, depending on the outcome of UFC 313, I think it puts this fight in real jeopardy. What I mean by that is, we know a lot of people have been talking about Jon Jones, Alex Pereira. You've even had Joe Rogan talk about it. It is the fight that the casual viewing audience would want to see. Obviously, Pereira is a much bigger name than what Tom Aspinall is. Now, not even the real diehard fans, the people that actually just pay close attention to the sport of MMA, you don't really need to be a diehard fan to know who Tom Aspinall is. The guy is a pretty big name in MMA. But those people who just aren't casual viewing people, they know this is the fight to make. They know Tom Aspinall gives Jon Jones his toughest matchup in his entire MMA career. I'm just going to be honest. Tom Aspinall is going to give Jon Jones his toughest test. Just my opinion. They're pretty even in terms of size. In terms of just Tom Aspinall's ability, his strengths and weaknesses compared to Jon Jones' strengths and weaknesses, I think this is a really competitive fight. Now, I'm not saying it's just a walk in the park for Tom Aspinall. Absolutely not. Jon Jones is the greatest of all time, in my opinion anyway. I know a lot of people might say he's not because of PEDs and stuff like that, but like Nate Diaz says, everybody's on steroids. Everyone's taking something at some point. In my opinion anyway, I feel like if you went back and looked at every supplement or everything that these elite fighters have taken, I'm sure something by now might have been okay at the time, but would flag up now as something that shouldn't have been in their system. But let's get back to this right here. So, this is my concern. I think Pereira's going to call out Jon Jones once he beats Magomed Ankalaev. I think it's going to happen. I think Jon Jones is waiting for the call out from Alex Pereira. We have seen Jon Jones be very silent. We've heard Dana White in the UFC say, we want to make the Tom Aspinall fight. We even heard Tom Aspinall in an interview this week on his channel, I think it was, where he said that he's all good to go on his side. It's just they're waiting on Jon Jones. And we've even seen the likes of Almeida now being like, oh, I'll fight Tom Aspinall next. This is the worry. I think if Alex Pereira knocks out Magomed Ankalaev and calls out Jon Jones, I think it fucks up the Tom Aspinall fight. I'm just going to be honest. I know the UFC and Dana White have said that no, Tom Aspinall is the fight to make next, although when Dana White is doing any form of interview, he refuses, like straight up refuses for some strange reason, unless the interviewer actually fucking drags it out of him to say Tom Aspinall's name. I don't understand that. You've got a very marketable guy that can be a star for the UFC for years to come, but instead they're prioritising Jon Jones, who at max is going to give them 2 fights. At max, depending on what route they go. But this is a concern. I really do think Pereira is going to call for Jon Jones. And like, in fairness to Pereira, he's cleared out his division. He does deserve the chance to try and make history and become a 3-division world champion. But this fight has to happen. It has to happen before then. it has to happen before then. And it's not like, I would be happy with, say Pereira wins and he just calls for just to move to heavyweight. He just says, I want to fight for the heavyweight title. He doesn't specifically say Jon Jones' name, but I think Pereira will know, like, how viral that moment will go if he gets on the mic and calls out Jon Jones. Like, that there will fucking blow up on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Pereira, even because Pereira's English is getting better now as well, if Pereira is able to call out Jon Jones in English, God bless. Tom Aspinall may as well go to the fucking PFL if that's the case, because if Pereira gets on the mic after knocking out Magomed Ankalaev and calls Jon Jones out in English, sign to the PFL and fight Ngannou, my friend, because that's the only big named opponent you're going to be getting for a very long time. But let's look at this as well. So obviously the interviews have been going on for Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. Pereira did say some interesting things there. He said, but what I think for the future, what I have in hand is either Dricus du Plessis or Jon Jones, or even fighting Alexander Usyk in boxing. Alright, let's go over some of these options. You've got Dricus du Plessis. We've obviously seen Pereira, Sean Strickland, who is a teammate of Pereira. Sean Strickland, who is a teammate of Alex Pereira, trains with him closely. Pereira was in his corner for the DDP matchups. Sean Strickland has openly said that Pereira does not like Dricus du Plessis. And after UFC 312, we've seen Alex Pereira in the cage and DDP trying to walk over and call him out. Now, the UFC cameraman completely fucking ruined it, because instead of panning over to Pereira to see who Dricus du Plessis is calling out, they just stuck on DDP, which a lot of people kind of didn't really understand who he was calling out or what he was doing, but that was who he was calling out. And then, look, do I think DDP is going to fight him next? No, because he is going to fight Khamzat Chimaev, so that there isn't going to be the fight to happen next, in my opinion. Yeah, he says Jon Jones. This is what I mean. Like, he's not even calling out Tom Aspinall. It's not like, I want to move to heavyweight and fight for the title. And again, why should he? Why should he do that? Because at the end of the day, it's an individual sport. Him and Tom Aspinall aren't teammates. They aren't friends. So why the fuck should he care if Tom Aspinall gets treated fairly or not? Alex Pereira is not going to care. This guy's on his own path to create his own legacy. And he says this one here, Alexander Usyk. Look, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, to be brutally honest, but Dana White is getting into boxing now. We've seen the whole thing. I made a video on it yesterday. Him and Turki Al-Sheikh, TKO, him and the guy off the board of WWE as well is involved in this. It seems to be a big project that's going to be going on where they're going to create their own boxing league. And they did say they are going to have super fights. And this is a super fight. And Alexander Usyk did call out Alex Pereira as well. So is this new partnership between Ring Magazine, Turki Al-Sheikh, Dana White, etc., is this going to allow for these big cross promotion? It wouldn't even be cross promotion at that point because they're all one thing. To allow allow MMA fighters to transfer over into boxing and vice versa. I don't know. Alexander Usyk strangely called out Alex Pereira. So when's Alexander Usyk really called out anybody outside of Tyson Fury? Pretty unheard of. It's not the character of Alexander Usyk. So there is a possibility there. I think it's very unlikely, to be honest. I don't think Dana White would let one of their biggest stars in Alex Pereira go over there, because yes, Pereira's a big name and Alexander Usyk is the undisputed he was the undisputed cruiserweight champion, and he is he's not undisputed, he's the unified heavyweight champion now because the IBF title is with Daniel Dubois, but he was the former undisputed. I know Pereira's a big name, Usyk's a big name. It's not the same as Mayweather McGregor though. That there was just fucking, that was crazy. You know, that there is one of the biggest fights of all time. Two of the biggest stars combat sports have ever seen. This is very different. So I don't know if Dana White would allow that fight to happen. I don't think so. But this is the concern. The call out of Jon Jones. I really do think this is going to fuck everything up for Tom Aspinall. Now, Dana White, talking about Jon Jones, has said that he is going to be making a return this summer. But again, why does Dana White never say Tom Aspinall's name when he's in interviews? Like, Dana White will say, this is one of the biggest fights in heavyweight history. It's actually one of the biggest fights in MMA history, in my opinion. Why are you not promoting it? They're also wasting Tom Aspinall's prime as well, which is insane. Joel's obviously read a fucking bit of fan fiction there for Jon Jones. If anybody wants to read that in the top corner, I am not. But Dana White has confirmed Jon Jones is coming back, which then makes me think, I know a lot of people say, well, they should strip Jon Jones then, but the UFC have obviously got something out of Jon Jones, whether that be like he's signed for a date or something, that they are very confident that he's coming back. But this is the fight that needs to be made. It is Tom Aspinall. He deserves it. The guy's beaten over half of the UFC's top 10 heavyweight rankings. He's defended an undisputed, or not even, he hasn't, sorry. He's defended an interim heavyweight title. Bruh. That's insane. That is insane, in my opinion. That is crazy that he has done that. But yeah, I'm not filled with confidence knowing that Alex Pereira has called him out here. It makes me very confident that Alex Pereira is going to get on the mic if he beats Ankalaev, which I am very confident he will, and call out Jon Jones in English as well, which just fucks Tom Aspinall's chances even more. Let me know your opinions in the comments below, though. Do you think Pereira is going to swoop in and steal the Tom Aspinall matchup? Like, what I would be happy enough with is, say Pereira beats Ankalaev, wants to move up, they do Tom Aspinall, they strip Jon Jones, do Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the undisputed title, Jones fights the winner. I'd be happy if it even went down that route, because the way I also envision it is, say they go Jones Aspinall, I think Aspinall beats Jon Jones and then fights Pereira anyway, so it would just be swapping it around, but you'd still get the same outcome, unless Pereira chinned Tom Aspinall, which I really don't see happening. But yeah, I think this is going to fuck everything up for Tom Aspinall. I hope I'm wrong, though. I hope the UFC do what's right for him, because he does deserve it. But my worry is Pereira's such a big star. Jon Jones is such a big name that if Pereira calls him out after knocking out Ankalaev, I think there's a high possibility that there is a fight that will be made. But let me know your opinions in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I am going to be live for UFC 313, so make sure you do join the watch along. And I'll see you again in the next one.